Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is another episode of Ridiculous Loadout. As you may already know, this is a series I started way back when in the Battlefield 3 days, basically whoring myself out for cheap views, running a suggested loadout from one of you in the comments section. Now, mostly, this is a not so tactical series where most of the loadouts are either troll or bad or just plain ugly looking. Really, I get a chance to try out a kit, a combination that I haven't thought of before, and maybe have good results with it. Mostly not though. So, this time, a friend of mine on Steam, Russian Muffins, suggested a close quarters sniper kit. This one consisting of the SV98, a straight pull bolt, and no scope. That is only iron sights. Also with me is the 1911 with the 3 times magnification, a cartoonish scope that arguably you can see the moon with, and flares. Run it on smaller maps like Siege of Shanghai and Pearl Market, he said. Now, this is a bit of a different loadout, somewhat of a departure from my usual things that I do, and I must say it's really cool. The SV98 rifle with the iron sights that has that distinct old school World War II Kar 98 feel. A German bolt action rifle portrayed in just about every World War II game ever for anyone that hasn't played FPS games before. It has that awesome one hit kill potential up close, and the iron sights are some of the best of any gun in the game, arguably, of course. Also, the straight pull bolt on this thing comes in quite handy, as I think it's a must-have accessory on any bolt action rifle. I don't actually think the straight pull bolt increases the rate of fire in any real sense, but it does help me in particular because after shooting, I always seem to forget to scope out and let the bolt load in a new bullet. The straight pull bolt does that by itself, so I don't have to think about it as much and lose time in between reload bolt animations. I mean, the rate of fire of the SV98 in Battlefield 4 is pretty damn slow at 50 rounds per minute, which obviously translates to less than one shot per second, even with the fastest bolt reaction time. By the way, funny story, it's actually up by 2 rounds per minute from Battlefield 3. Another thing from Battlefield 3 was the SV98 had some of the best hipfire accuracy of any bolt action sniper rifle in the game. So people used to love it for its no scope, drag scope, 360, fakey, backflip, YOLO swag, 420 Mountain Dew ability. I did actually get a couple of awesome no scope kills myself while recording this loadout. Oh, I was so proud of them. They were like my little babies that went on to their first day of school. A very proud moment. So, the SV98, right? The SV98 is obviously a Russian sniper rifle and stands for Sniperskaya Vintovka 1998 model. Made at the Izhmash plant, as so many Russian weapons are, and designed by Vladimir Stronsky, whose initials ironically are VS, or SV if you flip them. In real life, it fires the 762 bullet at 820 meters per second of muzzle velocity, a number that of course is nowhere close to the in-game stats. It is, after all, a game, right? I mean, several things in Battlefield 4 were made up. Many things, in fact, in order to make the game fun or even, just function normally. Take, for example, the bullet drop variable that DICE implemented for Battlefield 4 and for other games, I'm sure. Now, for Battlefield 4, DICE made different bullet drop variables over distance, as the bullet drops to the ground at different rates. Um, as I said, some at 9.81 meters per second, like it is in real life. Others at 15 meters per second, like for example the SV-98's bullet. Some others bullets also, and also some rockets like the RPG. But the incredibly aerodynamic bullets like that of the intervention sniper rifle, DICE decided to showcase its accuracy and flat flight path by giving it a very nice 6 meters per second bullet drop. So what I'm saying is Battlefield 4 is far from a realistic sim like Arma, I suppose, or something else like that. DICE takes a lot of liberties with the stats. And speaking of which, let's take a look at the SV-98 stats, as I already made this nice overlay and everything in After Effects. So the SV-98's damage got a very small buff from the Battlefield 3 days, and its damage drop-off distance has been stretched out both ways. It does a maximum damage of 100 at 12.5 meters, which drops off to 59 at 100 meters. Now, what this means is that with the headshot damage multiplier, the SV-98 should kill in one headshot at any distance. And within 12.5 meters, it will also one shot to the body, much less the head, of course. Its rate of fire in the game is nothing to write home about at a slow 50 rounds per minute, and its standard barrel muzzle velocity is 520 meters per second. A far cry, of course, from the 820 meters per second in real life. It has a box magazine of a healthy 10 rounds, which takes its sweet time to reload, clocking in at 2.9 seconds for the short reload, and a nail-biting, hemorrhoid-inducing 4.7 seconds for the long reload. It has a per-shot vertical recoil of 0.25 degrees and a first-shot multiplier of 2, effectively making the per-shot vertical recoil 0.5, because every shot of the SV-98 is the first shot of the burst, since it's a bolt-action rifle. But having said all this, it's a great rifle and looking very badass, owing its form to the competition shooting rifles with its ergonomic handle and adjustable stock and cheek rest. I am doing pretty badly with it though. As you can probably see, I'm missing a lot of my shots because I'm trying to a new grip on my keyboard. I mean, so it's like it's like relearning to play FPS games from the beginning. Doesn't always work out. But other than that, the more or less useless comic relief style flares notwithstanding, the 1911 is pretty fun to use. It hits like nothing else, and the 3 times magnification scope is like a telescope. I mean, you can probably see Mars with this thing. The only thing that I don't really like about 1911 in Battlefield 4 is the sound. I think it's too teeny, like throwing empty beer cans at rocks. Not that I've ever done anything like that myself. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Loadout, and now because I don't feel like suffering alone, Muffins must also run this loadout and upload it to YouTube, and I'll accept the link down below in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video. It helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one. And remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.